Hi, this is Justice Now, and thank you for coming to my channel. This is part 11 of the workplace mobbing installment. So with part 11, we're just going to go a little further in depth around the concept of fear and how perpetrators and their supporters utilize fear to create agitation within their targets and how it contributes to the restructuring of the brain, as well as other physical ailments that can be induced on the body. When the scientific approach is utilized in terms of the devastating effects that perpetrators in workplace mobbing and their supporters have on their victims, well, they operate very much like a disease. And the contagions in the disease are willful participants who enjoy cannibalizing on the targets, be it cannibalizing on the target's confidence, on the target's self-esteem, on the target's dignity. They love to feast off of it, and it's disgusting. So let me tell you how they utilize fear and how that creates anxiety in their targets. What the perpetrator and the supporters of the perpetrators will do in a workplace environment is they will make innuendos to wanting to report you to human resources. They don't tell you what they're reporting to human resources about you is about. They don't tell you what it's about. They make threats. They make numerous threats. And they do this to see how you're going to respond. The other thing that they would do is they would come together in a powwow and they would orchestrate their allegations against you. And they would designate key members, or the entire group will fully participate in confirming this lie against you. They're very diabolical, very much so. Each and every one of them that participate in this. Others will come up to you as if they don't know what happened. So it's another form of gaslighting where they deny the pain and suffering that you are encountering. So they will minimize. But let's go back to the fear. Other aspects of fear. In the workplace that I'm in, it's an open concept, but there are dividers. So when you're going down the corridor, you don't know if anyone is just going to pop out. Well, they plan popping out, right? So you're walking and then poof, someone's right in front of you. You're not expecting it, you get a jolt. You get an adrenaline jolt. Your senses go up. They try to pawn it off as, oh, it's just a casual coincidence. No, this was planned. And they will do this multiple times a day. Another thing that they'll do to incite fear is you're sitting at your cubicle or you're at your workstation and you're fully engulfed in the work that you do. And then all of a sudden, someone will come up, one of the co-workers, I use that term loosely, will come up and tap you on the shoulder. You get a jolt, another adrenaline rush. Your senses are heightened as a result. Or the other thing that they'll do is they will enjoy making sure that you see how they're triangulating others against you. That brings about fear. You know that you're going to be excluded. You know that they're actively looking at ways to exclude you. There's a whole list of different tactics that they use to incite fear. Now, what does that fear do inside your body? It creates cortisol, it increases adrenaline, it keeps your body in a fight, flight, or freeze state. Now, the flight, fight, or freeze state was meant to help you recognize danger. But because you're in this environment, a very toxic office landfill or workplace workstation landfill, that fight, flight, or freeze is constantly on. So you become hypervigilant. Your mind may misunderstand certain stimulus because it's related to trauma. Others may call it post-traumatic stress syndrome. Others may call it overstressed. But your body is affected. Your brain is also affected. When it's constantly in distress, you start to lose short-term memory. So it's hard to focus. You find it harder to focus. You find it harder to retain and be able to recover that information that you may need. Your body will shake. Your body will shake. You'll probably feel like you want to throw up. You probably feel stomach pains or headaches or very stiff neck and shoulder muscles. So your body is reacting to the trauma that they induce. And over a long period of time, it affects even more areas of the body, which can lead to stroke, which can lead to cancer, which can lead to aneurysms. It can lead to a lot of ailments. So these perpetrators and their supporters are more than just, mobbers that engage. They're willful contagions that create dis-ease within the target. So what can you do about this? The best suggestion I can give you is to get out. Without your health, you have nothing. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the world. It doesn't matter how much patience you have in the world. You are not going to be a martyr. And you can say, oh, well, I have enough strength and they're not going to break me down. I'm here to let you know that they will, and they will continue. They will not stop. Contrary to what you've heard on other videos about workplace mobbing and perpetrators and their supporters, you might hear, oh, well, it's a collection of, pathologies among the people. Some are good, some are bad, and some are just devious. I have a different take on it. These people have come together because they like what they do. They continue it because they like what they do. And as long as they see you, they're going to continue doing it. They're going to continue, and when I say doing it, they're going to continue to traumatize you because they like what they do. It's hard for people to grasp that other people can be that evil. But by observation and by experience, because I'm going through this experience right now, and I'm meeting more and more people who are going through this experience right now, it's coming out to the same conclusion. They like what they do. Don't need to have a super scientific, codependent, narcissistic, cluster B. You don't have to have a super scientific thing about it. They like what they do. In plain language. They know it's wrong. They know that it's harmful. They know that it's unwelcomed. And they like what they do. So they do it. And right now, you're the target. Who knows, when you up and leave, there's going to be someone else that's going to be the target, because they're constantly going to be searching for targets. It's an adrenaline rush for them. They get aroused by this. This is their enjoyment. This is their fun. You know, and it's not so far-fetched. Remember the show Catfish? That show Catfish that was on MTV. You know, people would wonder, why on earth would someone steal somebody's identity, use their pictures, and do all of these things and string people along for 10 years, 8 years, 5 years? Why would anyone do that? And then when they actually go to the perpetrators, what do the perpetrators generally say? I was bored, and I thought it was fun. Well, consider the perpetrators in a workplace mobbing, the ones that maliciously started it and then recruited others to traumatize you, and those one recruited others. You know, consider that group as a group of people that are either bored and that they enjoy it. And they know it's wrong. They know it's wrong and they don't care. They don't care what you're going through, because if they did, they would have stopped. They don't care that it's wrong, because if they felt a morsel of morality, which they don't, they would have stopped. They have no intention of stopping until they see their goal realized, and then they move on to the next. Hopefully someone in the upper management will wise up and catch on to this, but oftentimes they do not. They often minimize this type of abusive, traumatic treatment, terroristic treatment, to personality conflicts, or just not being suitable with the right team. You know, some kind of flimsy excuse, when really they do know what's going on. They just don't want to say it. They're too cowardly to say it, and they're too cowardly to stop it. So, for the targets, 2 words: get out. Because these people, they may not be holding a gun to you. They may not be holding a knife to you. They may not be poisoning your drinks or your food. Although, I would caution you, keep an eye on your food and take your food and belongings with you, because they will look through your food and belongings. And they may try to put stuff into there, so please keep them with you at all times. Now, they may not, they may or may not tamper with your personal items and your edibles. However, you can never trust them. They will do anything they can to frustrate and annoy the target in order to prove a lie that they've generated about you. So that is the part 11 of workplace mobbing. Stay tuned for part 12.